Hey everyone. So welcome to our lenses session. I just want to make sure everybody has a really good idea of how to set up our week and our month properly. We have, so much time in a day. And if we can actually really stop the time wasting, the things that maybe don't keep us as focused as we should be, we can really make some huge progress. And this whole package that we have, this morning ritual, this lenses package, this PDF that I always talk about, is really great because what it does is it tunes you in to where you want to stay focused and what you're really trying to create for the day, for the week, for the month, for 3 months, and then really like for the year. Where do you want to be next year? I'd like to get everyone kind of excited about the fact that we're now creating. We're not just sort of waiting to see what's going to happen. We're not waiting to see if things are going to go right that day. We're just literally creating exactly what we want to see. So when we kind of see it, feel it, focus on it, and actually feel grateful, feel love for it, all these feelings, it imprints into our whole memory field. And the less resistance we have to these things, the easier it is to get to them. So when we start kind of writing some of these things down, it's going to make sense for you. But what I want us to do right away is just to kind of, look at the things that we really do want to create, the things that we really do want to focus on for this next year, this next week, this next, fortnight, we call it. What if there's anything that you maybe, haven't created yet that you'd like to kind of make a picture in your mind of, make a movie. We're going to explore making a movie for, a year from now, where you could almost be watching yourself if you were to be doing what you really love to do. I want you guys to kind of drop into a bit of a heart space, just, taking a nice deep breath, getting kind of comfortable. We're not going to do a huge meditation or anything. I just want you to start rolling the film, rolling that film, closing your eyes for just a minute, taking a nice deep breath, feeling your feet on the ground, just taking a nice deep breath in through your nose, filling up your belly, into your head, filling it up as much as you can, and breathing out through your mouth, just releasing tension from your muscles, releasing monkey brain, just releasing, and just allowing yourself to view yourself as this character, you're not quite yourself. You're your future self. You're the one that if you had sort of made some consistent choices over the next little while, this person, I want you to kind of look at what they look like. I want you to kind of look at what they're feeling like. I want you to look at how they're moving. And I want you to just kind of climb into that body for a quick second. Just literally zip yourself in there, jump in that movie, and just be there for a moment. Living a life that you truly love, like that you truly love, not what makes everybody else happy. Living this life that you truly love, feeling the things that you really want to feel, doing the things that you really want to do. And I want you to notice what a few of those things are. If you were doing something that you really like doing, doesn't matter about money, just doing something. And I want you to maybe notice who else may be around there. And I want you to notice some of the sounds that you might hear, some of the things that you might be able to touch, what it feels like to touch these things with your hands, to really be there. And I want you to notice anything else that might be there. What are some of those things that you really enjoy doing? And then if we were to kind of really transfer this energy, doing stuff that you really love, but you being the real predominant creative force in your life, like really taking that choice every day, feeling powerful, like, yes, getting your green juices, maybe doing that stretching every day, those things that you have on your list, maybe that exercise. Maybe it's just like that meditation time, just, yes, actually doing it, just creating it, making a choice, feeling powerful, you know, stopping yourself from snacking, stopping yourself from maybe pouring that extra coffee, having that water. Yeah, just feeling that. And maybe doing some other good things for being that, that predominant creative force in your life. And then if we were to just kind of shift that over more to health and vitality, if you were living that truly healthy body and life, that, that really good choice, that really good feeling that you knew you made those choices, what would those choices be? You're in your end result, you're just living that life of health and vitality. You're looking at your body, you're looking at your pants and how you actually have to go buy new pants. And I want you to look at your clothes right now. Just see how healthy you feel. Move in your body, just moving your hips, feeling how good it feels to not have pain. Knowing that you made some really good choices. What did those little things that you did, those big things, what was the most beneficial thing that you did? And I want you to just feel that. And I want you to, picture your health and vitality, getting out of bed. What does that feel like? And what does your bedroom even look like? And if you were to be living your true nature and purpose, like the purpose, the things that you've always really loved to do, the skills that you have, kind of taking stock of all the jobs that you've had, all the skills that you've had, all the things that you've gone through, your true nature and purpose, the thing that kind of lights you up, Maybe it was to always write that book. Maybe it was to become a coach. What was it? What is your true nature and purpose? What just really makes you feel good when you do it? And what does that feel like? Kind of knowing the reason that you're here. What is that reason that you're here? Maybe it was just to be an amazing mother or father, to, allow these teachings. What was it? What's your true nature and purpose? And what does it do for the world? What does it do for you? And I'd also like you to think of another true choice for yourself right now. If you had to pick a true choice that just felt good for you, like, my favorite one is always, I choose to be unshakable. I choose to be an unshakable anchor for my family. The world is kind of crazy. If I feel grounded and unshakable, I'm not charged up. The gun is not loaded. I'm so much more relaxed. I make decisions, from emotions and the head. I can balance things out. I'm not so, balance is a huge one. I choose a life of balance. I choose a life of ease and grace. I choose to live a life of love, to just feel unconditional love. I choose to be unconditional love. How can you go through a day, not feeling great, just choosing to be unconditional love, right? Like that feels good. And I want you guys to think of a couple choices in your head, and if you can, write them down, on on our lenses pages, as we go through, there's the section, I believe it is on page 5, where we end up making these choices. And so we can write down those core 4 choices, and we can write down, a little bit about how they make us feel, why we would choose those. The biggest thing is not making them depending on someone else, or, depending on, I choose to have a job at Agritel. Well, Agritel might not be hiring right now, but how about I choose to find a job I love, or I choose to find a meaningful purpose, just that this is going to be your focus. This is your GPS point. This is where you want to be going this week. So we want to make sure that that choice is going to honor you and move you forward the most in what you're really wanting to create. Because if we really stay focused on these choices, they're going to happen. This is exactly what's going to happen. So we want to make sure these choices are really clear and concise and measurable. We want to make sure we can do them. And so with lenses, what we do is we're going to take our lens and we're going to look, if I really wanted things to be like this in a year, what would I have to do for the next few months to really make this happen? What would I really have to do to be an unshakable anchor? Well, I would have to take care of my health. So I want to make sure I choose a life of health and vitality is on there, right? And I want to make sure that I know what I'm going to do for that health and vitality. And so what we do is we have the next section where we have what could you do and what will you do. So they're different in that what could I do is I could exercise. I could pay attention to what I'm eating. I could eat well. I could make a meal plan, right? I'm going to jot all of those down in my could do section. What are other things I could do? I could get to bed on time. I could, I could really try and sleep more. Could try and, adjust the sleep schedule. Maybe it's I need to get up earlier to do what I need to do. Have things shifted with kids being home? Do we need to make a bit of a new plan, or is the old one still working, or was it never working? Let's look at some of these things. So 3 months away is big. That's a big lens. That's a lot we could do. That is a real whole lot that we could do in 3 months. Really looking at that, I want to have, I have my regular webinars, but I want to start doing a little bit more every day, a little bit of an extra course every day. I want to start designing some of my bigger courses. I want to start designing my course to coach coaches. I want to have all these great things. So those are all in my could do. What could I do for the next 3 months? Because those are big things. And these are fleeting thoughts, just blah, 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 because we're in the field. When you sit and allow those thoughts for a few minutes, some genius stuff comes up. But if we're not writing it down, it's gone. Kind of like when you dream something, it's, you wake up and it's gone. So we get out of this state of focusing on ourselves and those thoughts are gone. So that's why it's really important to write them down. What could I do? And so you guys can pause this and just take a little time and kind of write a whole bunch of stuff down if you're watching the replay, because it's a big thing and you can kind of go back to this whenever you want. But this 3-month one, you really only kind of need to do it every 3 months, but you do want to kind of read through it once a week or so. So on Mondays, that's what I say, bring out your 90-day lenses, just have a look through. How are you doing on your focus there? Because this is where you wanted to go by the end of the year. Has it changed? It might have, right? You might have already done a lot of this stuff. So it's good to kind of look back at it. And then we're going to go to the 1 month. So, before we go from could do to will do, we need to kind of be a little bit more precise, right? So that clear and conciseness. So if you're going to exercise, the will do is like, okay, I will actually exercise twice a week because I know Tuesdays, Thursdays I can do, right? So I will do this for sure. If I do more, awesome. If I will can commit to doing 3 to 5 times a week, I'm going to write that down right there. That's what I will do, because that's going to hold yourself accountable. This is like you designing your own coaching program right now, right? So even meal plans. So what will I do? What could I do? Get a meal plan. What will I do? I'm actually going to reach back out to my one girlfriend who was going to help me design one. So I'm going to get back to that. Okay. So that's what will I do? They're very different. You got to kind of dial it down, right? Click in that next lens, make it a little bit clearer, a little bit more concise. So then we jump forward to the 1 month. The 1 month is a big one because it goes quick, doesn't it? A month can go by really, really fast. So again, we're going to take some of our things from that 3 month because that's a really good guideline, but we're going to think of some more, some clearer things that in that 1 month we might need to do that may have come up on the 3 month, but it again may not have. So I want you to think about just 1 month from now. And I want you to just kind of ask yourself, what could I do this month to bring me towards these true end choices of living a life I love? I chose running an easy, lucrative, and fun coaching business. Like, what could I do to really have this easy, lucrative, and fun? I was recording meditations for each of my clients, and it got to a point where I had quite a few to do, and it was like, ooh, it's a little overwhelming, and I was making it really, really personal. And I thought, you know what, it's fine if I just record. So instead, I went crazy. I recorded a money meditation. I recorded the health and wellness meditation. I recorded a clearing blocks. I recorded a whole bunch. And ignite your day so that you can just pick one. It doesn't have to be just one for you. I have a series of 7 now that they can just pick whenever they want. And it's like, wow, that was so much easier. And I only had to do it 7 times instead of 7 times a day. So it's, just thinking of these little things. What can I do to make it a little bit more evergreen, we call it, where it's always there, something that can always make you money, that's a huge thing. What about a course that you could do? There's so many things you could do. So I want you to really start thinking about that and give yourself some time. Again, you can pause it. You can kind of work on your what could you do? What will you do this month? So are you going to look at your list? Okay, so what are the things? I had no more coffee after 5 o'clock. So I did switch to herbal tea. And, this week did pretty good, but we had dinner one night at family. So we had coffee, so I did pretty good, really, because I was drinking coffee every night. So, wow, okay, I'm going to keep that on my list for this week. It helps me kind of plan my month, plan my week, kind of give it that sort of clear, concise, and measurable. You know exactly what you're going to do. I was going to do a cleanse, so I didn't start that. Get back on it this week, writing it down in my weekly list again. So I'm still going through my monthlies here. Monthly, I had, sending 10 emails a day that I wanted to do. You're just going to kind of go through those monthly things. Like, that's really important. If we had planned on doing that all month, because this is, this was just a week ago, there's still lots that I can kind of tweak a little bit or notice right away that I didn't maybe act as much as I should have last week. I mean, we're still in holiday mode. We're still kind of getting going. I'm not being hard on myself. I'm just noticing, like, yeah, I was actually really kind of focused on this. And, there are a lot of really great ideas in here. So I'm going to kind of go back to these. And when I look at my month of what I could do and what will I do, it also gives me a really good guideline as to maybe why things aren't going, in one direction or the other. So when I look at that, it's like, yeah, really there's a lot of things that maybe I would actually like to shift, and then I write myself little notes in here, like, don't stop, just restart every day, even if you get off one day, I forgot to do my lenses on Saturday. So I really focused on it yesterday, and now I feel really good about going into the week instead of already behind. And already behind is never a great way to start the week. And this is one way to kind of always be ahead, or at least on that same day, right? So now we're going to shift up to a week. I know I'm going super fast here, but this is kind of like the little, let's do this version so that you can kind of dial this in 45 minutes or less, really kind of get things moving for this week. So what about this week? What does this week look like for you? What could you do? What could you really do from your 3 months, from your 1 month? What could you really do? This is really important because this is daily. This is, you don't want to have too many things on here. You also don't want to have your to-do list on here. You want to have the important things that are going to help you moving towards your end result, right? So this is all about what's going to get you there from your true choices. And so if your true choices are really true choices, they're almost like promises to yourself. If you can think about it, as some people don't like promises, they have, resistance to promises because they've been broken before. But this is a chance for you to reteach your body that you're promising that you're going to take care of it and that you're going to follow through. And that is going to be one of the most powerful lessons that you can ever do for yourself, simply because we're really not always good at keeping our promises to ourselves, are we? We make these choices, but we tend to break our promises to ourselves more than anybody. And that, unfortunately, is what our subconscious, our memory field is kind of used to. So all we're really doing is giving it new experiences, retraining our brain. And by doing this, by doing these lenses for 90 days, for 3 months straight, it will be so ingrained in you that you will not want to go without it, because it does keep you so focused. And you will see shifts happen so quickly because it's actually dialing in those chemicals to start helping you to do it easier and easier. Like, just like people enjoy working out after a while, if they're not workout people, you kind of create these chemicals by doing it for a little while. And it's usually the best they've ever felt, or when we start doing those things that we're not beating ourselves up over, that we're not feeling let down by ourselves for, it's a huge way to feel self-love. Like, we're always like, well, I don't know how to love myself. I don't know how to. The real key is actually being your own best friend, being your own mom that you always kind of needed, being your own sort of a lot of times, don't you feel like you would be a really awesome friend, and we could be the best friend that we have to ourselves and actually make the things that we really want to happen in our life happen? And how big is that? And how easy is it that it's really as big as just making a choice, making a true choice and doing it? And that's all that it comes down to. That's it. Just doing it. But this is why a coach is important, because sometimes we don't have that motivation to do ourselves. And for me, being a coach is what gives me that motivation to do it for myself. How can I tell people this and feel that it works and know that it works and not do it myself? For a person that was never able to love themselves, never even understood what that was, to feel it is one of the most incredible things in the whole world that you can give yourself. So I really encourage you to almost pretend that you're, writing this for your friend, writing this for you, as being that friend. I know it sounds a little cheesy, but the thing is we really don't want to be fighting against the current and swimming. We want to just be allowing that wave to carry us there, right? We just pulled some cards before this, and it was just so representative of what we're trying to create right now. And it's what we want to create is a life of ease and grace, and one that we're living our true life, our true life's purpose. We're living a healthy, vital life. We're honoring the life that we have, the fact that we're here, that we're healthy, and that we can help others. It's such a huge blessing. So let's drop into this week of what we can really do. What can we really do? I want you guys to write some things down. It's different for everybody. And I want you to almost think of some of the things that went right last week, and look at the actions that got you to it going really right. Like, what did you do to have things move really right last week? Did you just allow? Did you start something that started working really good and you just want to create more of it? So you're just going to write that down? You know, did you do maybe something that you haven't done before? Did you start something that you have never done before? What really went well, and what can you also bring into this week that you really want to keep creating? And if, if something didn't go right, what were you missing that you did need? Like, were you agitated, and why? What was agitating you? You know? And so I love having some time to just kind of really go there. And I'm going to do just a little recode where we're just going to line this all up, We're just going to pluck all this resistance because you guys have been working really hard. I'm hoping that you were able to jot some stuff down and that you've had enough time to be able to kind of get your thoughts in order for the week, for the month. And absolutely, by all means, feel free to go back and play the scan, pause it, just sort of, use the prompts to kind of get through what you need. And use those daily practice sheets. Do this every day, take 5 minutes. As soon as you're awake, before you're falling asleep, you're going into that theta state. That's where you're going to be really in touch with your superconscious. You're going to be able to kind of connect into this field and really create huge changes and huge chemical processes to make this easier. So if you can read your dailies a couple times a day, it's big, guys. It's really, really big. So we're gonna step back. This is going to be a very quick recode. So I just want you guys to kind of step back into where you were, to that true end desire. Remember that those true choices that you made, that maybe that fun business that you have, maybe that you were just doing whatever it was that you loved. I was in my garden. I have this like beautiful greenhouse that I can see, a new place, and it's on a lake. I can totally see where I am. And I just want you guys to just feel like you're in your happy place. Maybe you've created a killer basement for your kids and they have all this space. Maybe you've purged stuff so you have room where you want. Maybe, I don't know, but I want you to just go into this end result. All this is done. It's just inevitably done, making these choices for the week, month, 3 months, for the whole year. And it's just done. And I want you to just look at how everything feels. Yes, that's awesome. And we're not going to judge it at all, but we're just going to take into our consciousness where we are right now. And all you guys are so far already. You've already made like massive, massive shifts. And I'm just going to ask for you to connect with me. Allow me to just connect with you with your superconscious, and just in your mind. You can just say that you allow me to connect with your field. And I'd like the superconscious to just pull in all of the parts and all of the personalities today for this sort of quick recode, just bringing everybody in, everybody on board, all those old little personalities, those ones that like to let us stray, those ones that like to let us get distracted, the ones that keep us focused. I'm just going to bring everybody in here for the perfect treatment plan to just move hugely towards these true end results. And if any of these little personalities are new or just kind of popping into this for the first time, we're just going to welcome them all and kind of bring them all into this mono personality, recognizing that this is just you, this captain of the ship. You're not going to let your crew run amok. You're just taking control with your map and your plans, and you're just letting everybody know what's going on here. We're just giving all the instructions to all the parts. That's perfect. Creating the perfect treatment plan for the least amount of pain and the most amount of satisfaction. Absolutely possible with grace and ease. And we're just going to do massive change history on all of those. Awesome. Taking a nice deep breath. Sorry, I just jumped right in there. We're just I'm going to shift this right now. That's just awesome. A couple nice deep breaths. We're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Awesome. And we're just going to have the superconscious just reinforce all of the supportive emotions, just bringing anything that creates peace and harmony and love, true unconditional love, just reinforcing all those emotions, just creating the perfect treatment plan and doing a massive change history on all of those. We're going to bring any original memories and any original events on any timelines through family history. And we're just going to tag and treat them with the original memories, just reinforcing all beliefs and all emotions. That's perfect. I'm just going to do a massive change history on all of those. And I'm going to ask that the protector controller and the inner child and the part personalities that have had these broken agreements and these broken contracts, and we're just going to treat all these as needed and just do a massive change history. We're just going to go ahead and treat all of the body parts, all the organs, just anywhere where stress might be being held in the body. On a cellular level, just treating all of these stuck emotions in the body, stuck energy centers, just allowing whatever needs to be opened, to allow this true end result to just flow without any resistance, and just doing a perfect treatment plan around all of that in a massive change history. Thank you. Couple nice deep breaths here. We're going to step back into that true end result, just giving that point A of where we're actually going to, a really strong reinforcement. And just turning that up a little bit, just bringing that into clear focus, where we're really going in those next little things, those important little things that we really need to do to get there. And just allowing yourself for a moment to just hear and feel and maybe see what these next little steps are going to be. The steps you're going to need today. Big action steps to really start moving towards your week and your month and your year that you really want to create. I want you to just feel that for a moment. And we're going to ground all this into the memories 1, 2, and 3, and into the matrix of the universe, just allowing anything else to shift as the day goes on, creating the least amount of resistance and the most amount of satisfaction. And just doing a massive change history on anything else that's needed. A couple nice deep breaths before you guys end up coming back. And I just wish you the nicest week, just moving forward in ease and grace and balance and love. Just, giving that love to yourself, doing the things you know you need to do for you, making those choices and simply just following through with them. I love it. All right, I am going to end the recording.